So good morning. Today we will start with the topic of deficits. But before we starting with the topic deficit, we need to understand the composition of the budget. So first we'll understand the composition of the budget. It means there are two accounts in the budget, capital account and revenue account, and they have receipts and expenditure. So it means first we'll discuss revenue, receipts, revenue, expenditure, then capital receipts and capital expenditure. First we understand these type of things, these type of accounts, then we are able to calculate deficits in the Indian economy. So there are 6 deficits. Yesterday I have dictated. First one we will discuss revenue deficit, then effective revenue deficit, fiscal deficit, primary deficit. These are 4 deficits which are functionary in current situation, and we have other 2 deficits also, budget deficit and monetized deficit, that are irrelevant in the current economic situation of India. So first we'll write heading, you write heading, deficit, then you write one line. To understand the deficits, first we need to know about composition of budget. So now you write heading, or if you want to make a flow chart, you can also make. So we have 2 types of account under the composition of budget. First is revenue account and capital account. Under it we have revenue receipts and revenue expenditure. Under capital account we have 2 divisions. Capital receipts and capital expenditure. So this is the main distinction. First we'll discuss revenue receipt, then revenue expenditure, and so on. So first of all, what is the difference between revenue account and capital account? Any idea? Yes, please. Revenue account and capital account.
The property being some kind of investment and buying property in the capital account, if they are paying some salaries and non-productive assets, they usually comes in the.
We cannot say this is totally non-productive. Generally it is non-productive. So here under revenue account and capital account, the major difference is this is day-to-day expenditure and receipts of the government, and this is long-term receipts and long-term expenditure of the government. Okay, I'll make you write, don't worry, I'll make you write. Okay. So first we write number 1. So we write, you give these Roman numbers to this 1, 2, 3 and 4. Because whenever we will discuss deficits, we will use these numbers. So first you write revenue receipts. Write the heading revenue receipts. If you want to write something here, in summary, something here, you want to write something, what is revenue account? So you write day-to-day expenses. And under capital account, you can write long-term and lump sum transactions. long term and lump sum. Here current, daily, day to day. So for individual, we can easily understand whatever we are spending in our daily consumption, whatever we are spending money in commutation here and there, on transportation, on food, etc. That is what we call individuals' day-to-day expenditure. Under capital, if we think from individual's perspective, these are purchasing property, selling property, buying financial assets, etc. So first we write what are the components under revenue receipts. So you write the subheading revenue receipts, that is first point. Under this you write revenue receipts are day-to-day or current transactions, day-to-day or current transactions first off, these receipts are of two types. So two types. You write first one, receipts from taxes and receipts from non-tax. So tax revenue and non-tax revenue. There are two types of revenue receipts. Now you know what are tax revenue, because we had extensively discussed all the tax revenues. So under tax revenue, there are two important divisions, direct tax and indirect tax. So whatever the amount government will collect from all the taxes imposed all over the country will go to revenue account under revenue receipts. Okay, clear ho gaya? This they can ask in a statement, obviously. Now, second thing is non-tax revenue. So we will discuss this one, non-tax revenue, because tax revenue we have already covered extensively. So we will not repeat again. All the taxes will come under tax revenue. But under non-tax revenue, what are the sources for the government to raise the revenue? Anyone? Disinvestment. आएगा? यही तो गलती होती है, एग्जाम में आ जाता है. आई एम टॉकिंग अबाउट करंट डेली. इन्वेस्टमेंट कहाँ आएगा? वेयर इन्वेस्टमेंट विल कम, then disinvestment will also come. Fines, penalty, fees, user charges. Like suppose you are using metro. Metro is a government property. Then you will pay some charges, nominal charges, that will go to government. This is for using the services. It means tax revenue is a compulsory payment. There is no quid pro quo. There's one word in taxation, quid pro quo. It means you are paying tax, you cannot expect any benefits from the government. It is a compulsory payment. You cannot deny. This is the word. Under taxation is a compulsory payment. It means if you are paying taxes, you cannot claim that I am paying taxes. I have to receive certain kind of services from the government. So user charges, fines, fees, penalties are different thing. Okay, so we'll write items under all kind of taxes. This is the term, means tax is a compulsory payment. You cannot expect any benefit services by just paying taxes. Suppose you are paying taxes 2 lakh, someone will pay 3 lakh, someone will not pay tax. But they are using roads, they are using government property. Getting my point? If government will, suppose for example at the time of rainy season, government vehicles or municipality vehicles roaming through the colonies and they were spraying certain kind of sprays for controlling of the mosquitoes, etc. So if someone pays the tax, not pays the tax, but they are getting benefit, government is bearing the cost. It means you cannot claim that, okay, I want more services because I am paying higher amount of taxes. So this is what we call taxes is a compulsory payment. Okay, so we'll write under non-tax revenue what are the things will come. First one, fees, fines, user charges, comma penalties. So that That are the items you know. Any other item? Under revenue receipts. So you write next one, interest received. So whatever the government will give loan, government will receive some kind of interest. That interest, whatever the interest received by the government will come under revenue receipts. Suppose for example, government of India give loan to government of Nepal. Government of Nepal will obviously pay certain periodic interest. So whatever the interest that come, it will come under revenue receipts. So you likha interest payment, interest received. Then you write next one, profit from public sector undertakings. Profit from public sector undertakings. Next one, dividends received from PSUs and departmental undertakings. Dividends received from PSUs and departmental undertakings. Departmental undertakings. What are departmental undertakings? Departmental enterprises, what we call. Departmental undertakings are such as post office, railway. These are the two important departmental undertakings of government of India. Railways and post office. So whatever the profit a railway will give, if it is, then it will come under the category of revenue receipt.
So what were the donations given to like private relief fund and
These are given by government.
like by individual to the private relief fund and others?
Obviously, this will go to revenue receipt. Current daily. Okay. So you can also write aid, etc. But here generally aid comes under capital as well, because whenever you are receiving certain kind of aid, so it depends on that particular amount of money that what we are receiving. Like for example, if we are receiving aid for importing food, then it will go there, because aid is a non-compulsory payment, but it will give you certain kind of capital that you can use. So it depends on the amount of money. Like if you are giving a certain amount for Kerala Relief Fund, so that is current receipts that will be invested or that will be spent to mitigate the effect of Kerala flood. So that will come here. But if this aid is given to a government to build certain kind of maybe infrastructure, that will go there. So it depends कि वो aid किस चीज़ का. There's a difference between aid and grant. Grants are free, you can use anything. Aid is just to give support. Getting my point? Suppose this one person, suppose you have a driver for your car and suddenly he falls sick, then you will give certain kind of aid for his medical expenditure. That is aid. Grant is on Diwali occasion you give 500 rupees. That is what we call grant. So it depends on the purpose of giving this amount of money. See, I hope it is clear. So this completes the discussion of revenue receipts. Because major receipts considered as tax receipts and non-tax receipts. So under non-tax, under revenue receipts, we are having these kind of items. I have covered all the items, so you just have to remember these. Okay, no need to mug up. It's very simple, day-to-day expenditure. But there's a confusion regarding disinvestments, few points. That is why UPSC generally asks these type of items. Now we will discuss revenue expenditure. So you write second, that is revenue expenditure. You write these expenditure are day-to-day expenditure or current expenditure. Day-to-day expenditure or current expenditure. You write next line. This type of expenditure can be of two types. This type of expenditure can be of two types: developmental and non-developmental expenditure. Developmental and non-developmental expenditure. So first we'll write developmental expenditure. So write expenditure on economic, social, community and health services, or community and health services. Expenditure on research and development, expenditure on research and development, expenditure on irrigation, flood control and other natural disasters, expenditure on flood control and other natural disasters, services to agriculture, industry, transport, services to agriculture, industry, transport, etc. These are the developmental expenditure, day-to-day expenditure. So if you are suppose spending some amount of money in order to control particular flood, particular tsunami, like when you go to Rameshwaram and there is around 35 kilometers away, there is one town called Dhanushkodi. So that is near to Sri Lanka. So in that particular village, government is building big walls to control tsunami. Obviously when tsunami comes, the height of the waves is around 40 feet, 50 feet. These walls are hardly 20-30 feet. But at least government is doing something and we are able to neutralize the effect of tsunami for a few moments so that we can save the lives. So that kind of expenditure will come under revenue expenditure, because if you build a wall, it will not give you certain kind of benefits, like you're not making assets. You're just creating a deterrence for any natural disaster. So that is the one-time expenditure, but you will not earn that amount of money from that particular wall. क्या करोगे उस wall का future में? There's no use. It's just we are waiting for the disaster. So that expenditure is not capital expenditure. That expenditure is revenue expenditure. Difference समझ में आया?